Hello creatives, welcome to Artist Star. My name is Beth and I am at the gallery today for the Zodiac series. This reading is for Gemini, whose correlating major arcana card is the Lovers. This is the Artist card, here to represent you as the open vessel, ready to receive whatever source can draw from the well of infinite creativity. So Gemini, this is a spread of mine called Creative Depths. We start with the spirit messages and we ask the question, what do I need to be reminded of and keep in mind at this time? Then we go with the Creativity Oracle and we ask, under what new light do I need to consider this information? And then, how best can I begin to apply what comes to me? With that, we use the Soul's Journey. Then we follow up with the Cards of Truth and the Lenormand cards for clarity. And then we ask what else Source would like to share with you. And with that, we're going to go with the Archetype cards, the Moon timing cards, and then a Starseed message. All right, so let's get going, Gemini, and find out with the spirit messages, what do I need to be reminded of and keep in mind at this time? Soul power, how cool is that? Always remember, you're a soul that comes with a body, not a body that comes with a soul. Your soul is your true essence, and you have an unlimited supply of soul power at your command, whatever you need it, or whenever you need it. Wow. Whew, that is a strong message. Wow. All right, this is good. So, yeah, this is what you need to be reminded of at this time about how you get to those creative depths where you find the really good stuff. This is already digging deep. Soul power. Wow. All right, let's take a look at the Cards of Truth. 5 of Hearts. How interesting here. Because the 5s are all about trial and error. And with this, the red suits, it's justice. Yes, justice energy. So having things just work out for the better, right? It is knowing that whatever comes is what was supposed to come. Justice. And this is through trial and error, that's right, with emotions. And it is one of the cards that say, not struggling so much, artist, but just trying to sort through a particular dilemma that is your creativity. So that involves your creativity and its process, its path. So this is how you are being reminded that how you need that trial and error, what works, what doesn't work, but you have to have the nuggets of knowing that in order to really do the work, and the trial and error of figuring it out, what does work, right? Because you have those nuggets from all of that. And being the Gemini, you are sorting through things all the time. That 2 ways of looking at something, that diplomatic thinking, knowing that it sometimes doesn't come in a flash, that sometimes you really have to ponder over a situation. You have to try a few things sometimes, experiment, explore. And that is what the 5s are basically a life of. And of course, this is around your emotions, your emotional well-being, how you feel, how that affects you personally, and how you feel and how you behave and your emotional satisfactions around other people, places, things, your art, how you go about your creativity through that. And that is where you find your depth. Whew, that is deep. Okay, so let's look at the Lenormand cards. The stork, that's pretty cool. It's interesting to get that here. I'll read it. A stork in flight promises delight. A stork in range signals change. Progress leads. Progress heals pain. Drawn from the past. Embrace kindness and new friendships will last. Very interesting. Okay, again, it is an emotional story here, that how you get through that. So progress heals your pain that has been drawn from the past. And we're talking about soul power here. So perhaps it is ancestral karma, karma that's hereditary, that has not been worked through. And here it is for you to recognize, basically, something emotional, something that you know about, because that's where you go to get to your creative depths. There's some remembrance, something that you're dealing with in order for that wealth of emotional release can be harnessed and used. When ultimately, you see this beautiful white dove, it's bleeding, right? But it's this, looks to me like this beautiful flower rather than a bloody mess. So it's this white dove accepting that, again, that pain, transforming it into something that you use to boost your creativity, and you transfer that into your art through the heart. Wow. That is pretty darn deep. And then to, have this friendship through kindness that you embrace. And we're talking about, with yourself and your art, that tenderness that you understand where you have to dig deep to get there. All right, so you've been reminded of that particular method that you have. So it's through the struggle, through the trial and error, that you find the most powerful source. Okay. So let's move on to the second row, and under what new light do you need to consider this information? Okay, so this is going to be interesting. We're going to turn over the Creativity Oracle. Distractions. When you are trying to solve a problem, you will often be tested by distractions. How cool to know that. Wow. Okay, I'm going to leave this up because this is a very interesting card. And I'm going to leave it up so that you can look at it and see what you can see for you. Obviously, this person is walking across a bridge of sorts with every distraction in the world. And is he watching where he's going? No, he's not. So, on your path, right? Distractions, keeping you from reaching your goals. Are you aware of it? When you are trying to solve a problem, you will often be tested by distractions. And as a Gemini, I mean, let's let's think about that for a second, because it is that air quality that you have. It's the duality of your being able to think and diplomatically that can also be a distraction from yourself, from your power that is there. I'm being told to just remind you that it would be helpful to make a list, pros and cons. That helps with the distractions because you can write it down. It's there for you to come back to and ponder and really dig deep into, which is what you like to do, right? Explore the emotions of it so that you can harvest what's going to work for you, take you down that path of, oh gosh, knowing yourself so much better emotionally. Distractions, yes, make note of what comes up for you when you are feeling distracted. Once you recognize it's a distraction, write it down so that you can revisit. You know what that's like when you're in meditation and those thoughts keep popping in. They keep popping in because you're trying to avoid thinking about what you sat down on the cushion to think about, or to let go of, or to just give you some space around, just a break, if you will, and boom, 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 and they pop. Yeah, and then you got to get back to it, and back to the sitting, back to the letting go. I used to keep a notepad, and I still do, in my meditations, and when one of those pop in, I write it down, distraction, I know it is, or just to revisit. I mean, it may be something important, yes, but that is not the time or the place to really meditate on that thought. If you're sitting there for something else, you know what I mean. All right, so let's move on to the cards of truth here. The 9 of Hearts in reverse. Ketu energy, past life energy, and again, karmic that you bring with you from a past life. And I'm really feeling that this is unfinished karmic energy that you now have the opportunity to release. And I know from a recent conversation that there are many ways of doing this, and I have done it my own self, where I had help. I did go to someone who can release energy in that most beautiful, cleansing way. And very helpful. I was able to let go of a very tight bundle of fear of moving forward and opening more to my intuition. So, not being afraid to do that. She was able to help me drop those and release them, really, in the most beautiful way. And through a vision, actually. So, yeah, it can be done. And then I was reminded recently that not only can you do that for yourself, which is great, but you can ask your guides to go back for you and find the original source of it, that karmic baggage that you now are holding on to. Big or small, you can ask your guides to travel back and through each generation as far as it feels like it wants to go, and ask that that also be taken back one more step from my parents, one more step from my grandparents, from my great-grandparents. Take it back to its original place of where it emerged and where it happened, and heal it, release it from there. You can also ask that you go forward and have that same thing happen for your children. You do that first. You go and you ask if you have children or you have people in this lifetime that could also benefit. You ask that your guides hold that and you take it back. And with you taking it back for everyone, you can hand it back to your parents, to their parents, and so forth and so on until it reaches its destination, where it began, its origin of how that came to be, and release it from there for everyone that is being affected by it now. Powerful, powerful stuff. Yes, a shaman would be able to help you do that. Shamans are very good at helping to release. Therapists as well. So, yeah. And there are shamans who are therapists. I know, right? Yay. Thank you so much for putting these people on the earth. All right. So, okay. Unless you're feeling so empowered that you are able to do that for yourself, and that is always a possibility as well. Okay, 9 of Hearts, K2 in reverse. This is the Fool energy, and it's good energy because it's light and it's stepping off into happily into a new adventure with all this energy that wants you to do this. You want to do this. You're full. You're ready, but it's in reverse. So hold that back, and this is a reluctance to do exactly that, an emotional reluctance. That is what the distractions cause to keep you stuck in this. This definitely needs to be released. So think deep around what keeps coming up for you in your distractions, in your meditation, that keeps you from this exploration, this openness, this getting to the heart of the matter. Wow. All right. Let's look at the Lenormand, the scythe. Cut it out. Get rid of it. Chop it off and let it go. Wow. This could not be any clearer. Gemini, let it go. Find a way and let it go. Whatever emotional baggage that you can see, this is something that you know about. This is something that visits you. You know it. It can be a little thing or it can be a big thing. Doesn't matter. It can be more than one thing. But get it done, because this is really what you need to consider in order to just fall back into this beautiful, beautiful soul power for you. Oh, that's amazing. Okay. Not so easy peasy, right? But you know what it is with this? If we're in the upright position, it's a wish fulfilled card. So the second that you can identify and make a plan to let it go, it is already getting ready to fulfill that wish. Not only for yourself maybe, but for ancestors as well. It is K2. It does say it's bigger than you. You got saddled with it when you came into this life. And, you know, karma might not be something you did in a past life, but it's something you definitely have picked up in your DNA. So, okay. Enough of that. Let's move on to the third row, the soul's journey, and ask the question, how best can you begin to apply what comes to you? Judgment. Cool. There's some judgment that needs to happen. All right, it says here, I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. What a sweet message here. Exactly. That this needs to be approached with empathy and love and care, kindness. It's something that you've been dealing with, but it's also something that poor souls, for God knows how long, have been dealing with it too, making them the people that they are, whether they dealt with it or didn't deal with it, maybe dealt with some of it, but whatever. Yeah. Wow. So to begin with knowing just that, and to understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. Every ancestor you had, and now same for you, your own unique path and challenges. But look what you got here, the scythe. You're able to do this. This is a message from your guides telling you that it is within you and your power, soul power, to do this. Whew. Yes, the Ace of Clubs, epiphanies, new ideas. You are going to know exactly how to do it. And I don't know if this comes into play for you, but when this comes up, if there are any issues around depression, if that is part of this karmic baggage, this something emotional that you've are dealing with or your ancestors have in any which way, amount, or force, this card is the number one card for coming out of a depression. Yeah. So, another clue for you, Gemini, right? Another distraction as to what to look for. What brings you down? What anchors in a bad way? What tethers you when you need to fly, right? What doesn't feel so good? What's a downer, right? So there is your another big clue. Okay, let's look at tree. The forest for the tree. Oh boy. So it's family. This is definitely family related karma. It serves you, but it doesn't serve you. It could serve you so much more. I mean, there's such depth in that 5 of Hearts that it's incredibly something that you can put into use every single day, that you don't need to hang on to this in order for this to happen. Somewhere there might be a belief that you might want to consider looking deeper into if you really think that you need to hang on to this, that the distractions are necessary. If your ego versus the soul, your ego thinks that, or is telling you that that is the only way that you're going to get to here. Listen to your soul. It doesn't have any agenda. It doesn't have a clock. And if you're feeling that this has an agenda and a clock, then you know it comes from ego. So sort that through in your trial and error, and that epiphany will come. I swear it will. I mean, it's saying that it will. This is just this beautiful air quality in the cards of truth, the club suit is. So it's just such complementary energy to who you are, Gemini. So we're talking Mercury, right? Your Mercury led in the third house. So communications. And here we have the Jupiter, and this relates to water cups. It is the Justice card and K2. So K2 energy, check your K2 chart. Is it in a water sign? Right? Is it, what house is it in a water sign? So, right, if this is in your fourth house in Cancer, and you know, that is water, that is emotion, that is home and family, right? Okay. And the sun. The aces are the sun. This is you and your intellectual pursuits. Very, very nice. Okay, let's move on to what else Source would share. Child divine. Light attributes, innocence, purity, and redemption suggest a special connection with the divine. And the shadow, an inability to defend oneself against negative forces. So if you're feeling that, definitely get a guide. Someone trusted, maybe someone that is refers you to someone. And, or, you know, you can go to your local shop, and they selling crystals and, you know, energy, light workers, things that you would need, and be able to really kind of figure it out from there if you need help with this. It does look like it's pretty big, so I would recommend that you do that anyway. Let's see what the timing is. Bring love into the situation. Absolutely. New moon in Aquarius. Again, another big picture, kind of seeing, it encompasses humanity, Aquarius, vision does. It's also a fixed sign, so the water bearer, you know, it is you carrying the burdens of this situation. Wow, this is really deep. Okay. New moon, it's a new start. You can do this. You are being told that you can absolutely do this. Starseed, transcendence. Holy moly. Transcend your mind's limitations and allow your soul's light to truly shine. That is just the most beautiful message right there. Transcend it. You can. You've got what it takes. Get the help you need. Let it go. Ancestral healing, hereditary baggage. You can do this for yourself and everyone else. What a release. What a beautiful thing to give to this existence. Wow. All right, Gemini, thank you so much for watching and hope it resonates. Best of luck. And gosh, I wish you'd let me know how it all turns out. And as always, happy creating.